Hey guys, this is Jonathan McCormack. I'm an attachment specialist in New York, and you can find me over at attachmenthealinghelp.com. I do parts work, I do ideal parent figure protocol, and I do things to kind of heal those attachment wounds. But people have been asking me a little bit about specifically women, and so some of the things that I do see women in relationships, some of the mistakes I see or struggles. This is one of the big myths. I'll give a meditation later for healing the self-worth, healing that self-worth. But this video briefly, the thing is falling in love, it almost never leads to a secure relationship. It just never does. There's reasons for that. Now, some women do date that way. They just keep dating a guy, and then boom, the chemistry's on fire. That's their guy, and they just immediately, this is the relationship now, and they just go with it. That's kind of Disney version. Snow White and Prince Charming coming and sweeping her, and I know I suppose it's appealing. I mean, he was kissing a corpse. I mean, she was dead. That's I don't know. It seemed weird to me, but anyway, that's what happens, and she becomes alive, with that kiss. The truth is, attraction is not a choice. Perhaps you've heard that. Attraction is not a choice. You don't choose who you're attracted to, but you do choose who you love. Love is the choice. Well, but hold on. Say you're attracted to someone, women, and they ask me this question. It's like, well, do you think he loves me? Well, do you think this? Especially if you're anxious, you're all about them. And I'm always like, well, what do you want? How do you feel about him? That's almost irrelevant. Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't mean anything. Me, my needs, my feelings. No, of course not. It's all going to be about him. Well, in a couple of years, you'll become mighty resentful when those needs aren't being met, and that relationship will be tough to work out. The problem is, I also see just like a lot of women, when they start getting to the relationship, the minute they feel safe, they kind of just go all in. But there's stages to give your heart away. And by choice, love, you have to make a choice. Is this guy good for you? That's the question. Is he good for you? Is he good for you? That's the big question. If he is, then you can start disclosing intimate things. Then you can start moving it forward. Just having chemistry isn't enough. You can have great chemistry with someone and fall in love with them. Oh my Lord, it's so intense. But are they good for you? So there's 4 elements of creating a secure relationship. The first is you need to understand how to date. How to date. How do you do it? With a specific goal. A specific goal. Someone who wants the same things as you. You need to know who can provide you with security, not necessarily financial security, though that's pretty nice, but emotional security. How do you know? This is instinctive. Do you feel comfortable when you're around them? Can you emotionally regulate each other? That's number 1. Before we move on, number 1, when you're around them, do you feel, and they feel the same way for you? Both have to feel emotionally regulated. So what's your goal? Well, your goal is to find a partner who has the same values of you, wants the same things. Do you want to get married? Assuming you do, that's something you're going to ask. You're going to say, I think you should just put your values like in the second date, even first date. Don't make it all about that. But, just, hey, just what I'm about. I'm going to live here because my family's here. I'm starting a business. I'm looking to get married. I don't know. Obviously not with this person because you don't know them yet. But, my goal is to get married. My goal is to actually, what's yours? If they say, well, traveling, and I don't want any kids, and da-da-da. Boy, great chemistry. But but no, that's not going to work out. And also the same values, That's what you want to be able to discern. That's how you date. When two people come together, it'll never work out if it's just them. They'll just crush each other with that intensity. It has to be looking forward. And that forward can be having kids. That forward could be a movement, like, oh, we're the people really into the environment, and we compost everything. Whatever it is, but you guys share a future vision. The problem with anxious people is they have values. And I tell, if you're anxious and you're dating, I always say, write down your values, write down your non-negotiables. He can't drink, whatever it is for you. He can't, infidelity, whatever it is. You write down those things, write down your own values, and then watch and watch. Because a lot of times anxious people just gradually give those up as the relationship goes on. They'll just give them up. One by one, they just go out the window. Well, I thought your vision, I thought you wanted children, or you didn't want children. And they'll say, yeah, but he, X, Y, and Z. Boy, if you're anxious and you know that's going to be a strong, you might end up doing that. That's going to be a real pull for you. Then you stop. You choose not to love that person. Like, no, I can't go further because I know how this is going to end up. You choose. I'm not going to open up yet because I'm not certain about this person. I'll just open up a little bit. You're choosing. Number two, you need to know how to communicate your needs and desires. If you can't do that, it's just going to be mind games, Or you're just going to find people who are into something casual. That's your thing. I'm talking about long-term relationships. I'm talking about love. And if you're anxious, you're an anxious woman. Anxious women often have a hard time expressing their needs and desires because they feel ashamed of them. They actually feel ashamed of them, that I should want something for myself. They're so busy, so hyper-vigilant, focusing on the other person. But the truth is, if this works out and you get married, you're still going to be trying to get your needs met. Only you're going to be doing with weird mind games and kind of subtle hints and this and that. When he doesn't pick up on it, you're getting resentful. And then you're going to start thinking, what kind of man doesn't give me what I need? Oh, and then you're going to start looking down on him. Instead of noticing all the positive, that flips. You're going to notice all the negative, and that's what you're focusing on. So you actually do need how to do that, Comfortable with that. Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe sharing your needs, I'll do a video on how to express your needs, by the way, for women. And the third thing is you need to know how to make good choices, how to figure out who's right for you and who's not right for you. Some people don't do that, They just fall in love and just go with it. That's great. Many people do. They just fall in love, get married, and then in a few years realize this person's not right for me. They didn't even realize that they had a choice, It's like, well, he liked me, so therefore I got married, Here's the problem. We often fall in love with people based on our insecurities, not on our strengths. And that's a terrible match. Because if you're anxious, you'll probably fall in love with an avoidant or someone who's very dismissive and avoidant. And women who do this, who don't date mindfully, like, these are my values, this is what a man needs, I need from a guy or girl, whatever. Before, I remember this couple, and they seemed perfect together. They got married. There was a lot of tension. I was like, why? Well, in his mind, a relationship was meeting each other like once a week, just meeting up, and the rest of the time it's work and this and that and friends. And her idea is, no, she was kind of anxious, so she needed that reassurance daily. Yeah. She didn't articulate that. She wasn't even conscious of that, so she didn't even know to discuss that. She didn't know her needs. And of course, they get together, and he is just fed up getting these phone calls every day. And it's not doing anything, but it's just annoying. It's distracting him. And what's the point? He doesn't see it. He's a little avoidant. But boy, now this is a big conflict, because for like 5 days out of the week, she's feeling insecure. And should I call him? I don't want to call him. I don't want to bother him. And that can snowball, You have to be in touch with your needs and desires. You have to be able to figure out what drives you and what drives him. If you don't, and you've seen this happen, you'll spend your entire relationship trying to change him. And that doesn't work. you know? So you're like, I need X, Y, and Z, but I'm going to wait. I don't want, I'm not worth, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm going to wait. When we're married, I'll slowly, and he'll come to me. Like, that never happens, I mean, not without work. That just won't happen. You need to know I need reassurance every day. I need someone with a lot of, or vice versa, whatever it is. But you know that need, and you don't get married and then start in on that and start change him, get him to call you every day. No, these are things you work out beforehand. You're constantly looking for it, just watching him, This is what it is to date mindfully, It's essential to know if he can give you what you need, and if you're willing to give him what he needs. So, for instance, like an avoidant needs a lot of space. Okay? Can you give that? Anxious people can't. Be very difficult, because every time they avoid and pulls away, an anxious person like, oh, he's rejecting me, he doesn't want me. Why does he want to spend like 3 hours, 5 hours with his friends or doing this instead of me? And your anxiety. No, you can't. You can't give him what he needs. Not if you're very anxious. Maybe you can, but if you can't, you have to write and be like, well, no, this isn't going to work out. So see, can he meet my needs? My needs are X, Y, and Z. I need a little check-in every day. I need this. I need that. Just feel secure in a relation. Know your needs, And then can you give it him? It has to be both. It has to be both. Waiting months and months, like, don't do that, because then you'll be too involved. You want to be based on that the strengths of how they emotionally regulate, And 4, speaking of which, we need to understand that we need to understand and regulate our emotions, so old issues don't come up. And, I'm saying these things, and the reason I kind of don't like doing videos like this is simply because it's like, oh, you just do this, do that. Yeah. So when you're anxious, just stop being anxious. Well, you have to do that, because the truth is, when he pulls away, if you're anxious, that wounded child part's going to come up, and you can sit there. The first part is indeed getting aware. Oh, this keeps happening. Oh, I'm agitated. And then you have to heal that part. You have to have compassion towards that part. You have to look at that part. You can do IFS work, parts work, but things to heal it so you're not getting activated. I mean, it's really crazy. People think they're just going to fall in love and nature will take its course. That's never happened in human history. Humans have had elaborate rituals, elaborate rules, elaborate mythologies. Really, I mean, when 2 people got married, it was extremely detailed of how this would happen, how this would go. I mean, fanatically so in some cultures, But we're just going to run wild, Imagine a garden left to grow naturally, no intervention. Yeah, soon it's going to be overgrown with weeds, that. Stifling all those beautiful flowers, And it may have flowers. Who knows if you'll like those flowers, Maybe you won't have your favorite ones. I don't know. But the chance of it turning into a rose garden are pretty slim, So I just want to do that quick thing. If those are the 4 things you're looking for secure attachment in dating, and looking if you're in a relationship now, look at those 4 things, So I'll give a meditation. And this is kind of like a parts work meditation of getting in contact with that wounded part. Because a lot of women don't feel worthy. They have low self-worth. This culture devours them. I mean, women are almost like this terrified animal in the corner, and their culture and TV with all these messages and being perfectionistic and body image and this and that and that and that. And it's like, oh my Lord, who wouldn't be terrified? And it's not like they have a lot of support either, But anyway, so this will kind of help with that. And as I say, you're going to have to learn to heal those parts. So we're just going to calm down, do a body scan, and then get into it. Just invite you to focus on your body. Just start getting a little embodied. So bring the awareness in. Bringing the awareness in and down. As we start focusing on the body, I would just invite you to begin by taking 3 deep breaths. Hold below the belly and slowly release. Good. You could take another super deep breath. Hold below the belly and slowly release. Great. Last one, super deep breath. Holding below the belly and slowly release. Great. And now I just invite you to do a quick body scan. And you can focus your awareness on your eyes. Focus your awareness on your forehead. And you can just start relaxing that area. Smoothing out the forehead. Softening the eyes. Moving down and softening the cheeks. Softening the jaw, just letting it hang slack and loose. And then a wave of loving awareness moving down the neck, into the shoulders, moving down the arms to your fingertips, moving down your back, down the inside of your torso, moving down, down, down. Loosen the belly, loosen the hips, wave of warmth spreading down the legs, down the calves, all the way down to your feet, firmly planted on the ground like roots of a tree. Good. And now you can just start focusing on your breathing and noticing your body, and perhaps even noticing a slight softening. And with this softening, you can begin to connect with your truest self, your highest, best self. This is you when you're most loving, most compassionate, most curious. And this is the innate energy of yourself. And it's the truest you. And the truest you will lead this experience for the highest good. You just take a moment and allow the highest self to come forward. And from this connection, you can be curious and compassionate and confident. Yeah. And you go ahead and check in on your body. Yeah. There's some part of you that feels like you're not worthy. Do you remember the last time you felt that way? Perhaps you can envision that and you can feel that now. And as you feel that, notice where is that in your body? Where is that feeling of I'm unworthy? Yeah. And now feeling so confident, compassionate, you can give that part some attention. Just be present, curious, compassionate, confident. And you can bring your awareness just to that part. That part. And you might see an image that represents this part, or a thought. But something tells you this part is present now. Whichever way you sense it, it might be an image. And remaining in connection with your true self. Go ahead and go over to it, being compassionate and curious. Thank it. Thank you for being there. And ask, What is its highest intention for you? Ask it, what's your highest intention for me? How have you been serving me? Do you have a message? And let's just listen. And the sense of the answer might come in the form of a memory or an image or a voice. Just be curious how this part's been protecting you in some way. Go ahead and ask this part. Yeah. And it's been protecting you. And you can thank this part for being there for you. Yeah. And that sounds like an exhausting job, this part, what it's been doing. Can you just send some gratitude and compassion to this part? Yeah. Yeah. And now let this part know how old you are. Yeah. You can even show pictures of your present life. Yeah. Yeah. And you can tell it, you can handle things now. You're no longer that small child. And you thank it with gratitude. But you can let it know that you no longer need to be protected in this way. That it can give its burden to you, your highest self. Yeah. No, let it know that you don't need to be protected in this way with this belief that you're not worthy or good enough. You don't need that belief anymore. You did. And you thank it, but you no longer need that belief. You're ready to let go of this belief. And you can call in more powerful beliefs. And ask it if it'll just let go of that. And you can imagine it burying in the ground or going on fire, this box, this container, whatever it is. And even if he's unwilling, we can just imagine it now. Just imagine. Imagine letting go of this belief that you are not worthy, that you're not good enough. Perhaps you imagine these beliefs represented by helium balloons. You see all these negative thoughts, see all this. Just let go of the balloons, and you just let go of the balloons, and these balloons just drift up, carried by the wind, and you see these beliefs are getting smaller and smaller. Further away they drift, drifting until eventually you no longer see these beliefs. And you can feel that these beliefs are gone. These beliefs are gone. Notice how that feels in your body. And now you can be open to a different way of living and a different way of seeing yourself in the world. And take a moment, take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, think release. Release. Yeah. And as you go deeper into a more relaxed state, you're aware of this wonderful transformation that is taking place in your level of confidence. Every day you are growing and realizing a new sense of self-worth, and you are developing unlimited confidence because you are using the wisdom of your subconscious mind, and you know you matter in this world, and you know you're worthy of all that you desire. You find that more and more you believe these positive thoughts, and these positive thoughts, they're becoming very familiar to your subconscious mind because you enjoy practicing this. And the more you practice these positive thoughts, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more confidence you have, the more self-worth. And now in a moment, you can continue to relax even deeper. And as you hear these positive affirmations, you listen. And you listen to these beliefs. These are your beliefs, and they're true right now in this present moment. You know you matter in this world. And you know you're worthy. You know that you're worthy of success, of happiness. You're worthy of unconditional love. And every day, you're increasing your own self-worth and unconditional love. And you're worthy of all the beauty life has to offer. And because of that, you radiate love and confidence in yourself. And you're content and confident. And you know you're just unique. And your true self is of immense value in this world. And you feel better about yourself as you choose to take care of yourself. As your love for yourself grows, you experience clarity in life. And you know you're enough just as you are. You always have been. And you always will be enough as you are. And now, bring your attention to the area around your heart. And what do you notice there? Sense the quality of love in your heart. And you can deepen your breath now. With the fullness of your breath, send love to each part of yourself, just throughout your body. Send gratitude to each part of yourself. Yeah. And this unconditional love and gratitude, you just take a deep breath, feeling open and expansive. And as you breathe out, let go of what you don't need. And your mind is becoming updated, clear, only entertaining those things that have value. And you have value. And as you sense the shifting right in your heart as things move and shift, clear and lighten, and you can just notice that going on. You might be delighted to notice this feeling of secure love in the future, in your daily life as things come up. Just talking to friends, being around. And all of a sudden this feeling is right in your heart. Yeah. Full of compassion and confidence. You might be surprised to notice that in the next coming days. But right now, you know you've had enough time to make this a part of the foundation of your identity. And this feeling, this confidence is deeply lodged in the body. And the body remembers. And now, I'm going to count 5 to 1. When I reach 1, you'll be back in the room. But with this feeling of confidence and self-love deeply anchored in the body. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in the room. Safe and secure. Whew. Now you can just settle in. Notice how you're feeling now. Notice your thoughts. Yeah, when we're relaxed, our thoughts are so much more clear. Well, I appreciate you listening, and any comments will be welcome. Thank you.